Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in our previous lecture we learned about lists. So we learned about two kinds of lists, unordered list and ordered list. So in our today's lecture we're going to learn about descriptive lists. So we're going to learn about what are descriptive lists, how can we use them, what kind of tags do we need to create a descriptive list in HTML. Along with that, we're also going to learn about anchor tags. How can we create links using anchor tags? What are anchor tags? How can we link websites with anchor tags? And how can we add two web pages together using anchor tags? So without any further delay, let's begin. Okay guys, so as you can see I have already created a new HTML file and I have also opened it in Google so that we can look at the outputs. So I'm going to add a title over here and I'm going to say list, as this is our list tutorial, and now we will learn how to add a descriptive list in our HTML file. So why do we need the descriptive list? So first of all, we need descriptive lists when we have to make some kind of question answers, or we have to add some kind of definitions in our HTML file. So the first tag that we used is going to be the descriptive list, the second is going to be the descriptive title, and the third is going to be the descriptive data. So let's see how can we use them. Okay guys, so the first thing that we have to do in order to create a descriptive list is to add a tag that is called DL, that stands for descriptive list. So I'm going to add it very quickly, and like this you can see, and now I'm going to press enter. So this is going to tell our browser that we are right now about to write a descriptive list. So the second thing that we're going to write is going to be a title. So for that I'm going to use DT, that stands for descriptive title, and in this tag I can write my title, that can be anchor, and I'm going to close it. And over here I can write a descriptive data, and I will say DD, and over here I will write anchor tags are used to link files, and I'm going to close it and Control S and refresh, and as you can see we have the title anchor, and it looks like the DD is actually trying to describe it. So this is used for definitions. This can be used when you have to make some question answers, maybe you have to define something, so this tag becomes very useful. To make it work, we can also add a colon over here, press Control S, and now it looks a lot more like it is trying to describe anchor. So let's keep on going, and I will say DT over here, another title, and we can write HTML, and right now we're going to say DD, and over here we can say that HTML is used to develop websites. Let's see how it comes out. I'm going to press Control S, refresh. As you can see, it looks like it is also trying to explain about HTML. So these are very important tags when it comes to definition writing or making some question answers. This can be extremely useful. Unfortunately, there's not much editing that we can do inside of descriptive list, as there are no sequence, there is no bullets, nothing, so we can just leave it like this. But obviously we can add some additional tag to make it look good. For example, I'm going to add B over here. You can also use the tag strong if you want, and over here you can see now it will bold itself, and now it looks more like a title. So over here I can go and I can say mark. If I say mark over here and I close mark right here, you'll be able to see that it highlights. So like this you can just tweak a little bit with the DD and the DT to make them look more good and to make them emphasize or to have the presence on the screen. You can use various tags inside of DT or DD to make it stand out. So that was all for descriptive lists for today. Now we can move on to anchor tags. Okay guys, so now let's see how can you add anchor tags in your HTML file. First of all, I'm going to give this a title, calling it anchor. since we're about to add anchor tags, and then we will try to add an anchor tag. So first, let's see what is the purpose of adding a anchor tag. We use anchor tags when we have to link one file of HTML to another file. We are going to use the very similar paths that we used in the HTML image tag, and we're going to use relative path and absolute path to see how it works. So the first thing that we have to write in order to use an anchor tag is going to be a, and then we put a space, and then we write href equals commas, and then close it. And over here we add a closing tag. So this is the tag of anchor. So what does it mean? What does this href mean? So href basically is hyperreference. Hyperreference are basically your URLs that you use to link over here. If you add a URL over here and you write click right over here, and we will write click me, and we will say Control S and run. As you can see, we have created a link over here. We haven't added anything in the reference, so it won't really work if I click it. As you can see, it's not really working, but let's now try how can you click over here and jump to Google. So let's see. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have opened the Google Chrome over here. I'm going to quickly copy this URL, Control C, I'm going to paste it over here, Control V, and as you can see that we have copied this URL. All I'm going to do is save this file, and over here I'm going to refresh, and now when I click over here, as you can see, it takes us straight to Google. So this is how easily you can link one website to another website on your HTML file. So now we're going to learn about anchor tags, which will allow us to create a clickable button. Just by clicking on those buttons, you will be able to make a phone call. A lot of companies that you see, if you visit their websites, they have a contact page on their website. Whenever you click on that contact page, you will also see some clickable links that will allow you to send an email to them, make a call to them, and allow you to do a lot of other things. So let's see how can we use anchor tags to perform those actions. So let's see how can you use anchor tags to create a clickable call button. So let's see. So now over here I'm going to create an anchor tag. I'm going to add the href inside of it, and over here I'm going to say call now. If I save it, refresh it, as you can see the button has been created, the anchor tag has been created. But now you can see if I click it, nothing will happen because I don't have anything inside the href. So whenever you have to create a callable, clickable button, you add TEL over here. So TEL, and then you add a colon. And after that, you will basically add numbers over here, your country code and your phone number. So let's assume that my country code is this and my number is something like this. If I save it, so this portion will be your country code, and after your country code you will start entering your phone number that you want to be called at. So now I have saved it. I'm going to refresh it, and when I click on it, you will see how it tries to connect with my phone. And also you can see over here there's a call logo over here. So this will basically confirm that your call button works, and when you will do it using your your mobile phone, then it will open your dialer automatically and it will start making a call on this particular number that you have provided here. Alright, so now let's move on. So there's another link that we can create. Let's add some line breaks over here. And this link will basically allow you to send a text message and SMS. So how do you do it? Again, you add an anchor tag. And after adding the anchor tag, now you're going to write something called SMS and then the colon. Again, you're going to add the phone number you want to be contacted at. I'm just going to use this dummy number I just entered over here. You can enter your real phone number over here, and after that you just say send us a text. And now if you save it, refresh it, now you see it says send us a text. When I click on it, it's asking me to open the messaging app. So now you see this is a laptop, so I obviously cannot send a text message to it, But if I was on my mobile phone and I would have done the same thing, it would have opened my SMS apps and I would have been able to send an SMS on this particular number that I have provided. So another option that we can use, that anchor tags provide us, is we can actually add our Skype ID over here. So how can you do that? Again, anchor tag inside the href. Now you're going to write Skype. So let's say this is my Skype ID, and they said contacts us on Skype. Save, refresh. As you can see, it says contact us on Skype, and now it's asking me to open Skype. So this is how you know that this function is actually working. So guys, instead of creating these links, you can actually add an image over here where you have written call now, and you can apply those anchor tags to the image, so it will appear as a logo instead of these links. So that is an option. If you would like to do it, you can do it. And the third option is that the last option, actually that's the fourth one, and that option is basically to send a fax. So that option allows you to send a fax if you have to. If you're working for a company, or if you're building a website for a company and they need that feature, you can provide them with that. So the same thing, you add an anchor tag, and in the Skype, before that we wrote Skype, now we're going to write fax over here, and then you enter the fax number. So let's enter a random number over here. You can add your actual fax number right over here and fax us. Save it, same procedure, and if I click on it, if I had some application on my computer that would allow me to send a fax, it would have opened. Right now I don't really have anything like that, so nothing's quite happening. So this was basically a few ways in which you can use these anchor tags to create some clickable buttons. So now let's see how can you actually use the anchor tags to connect two files that are locally present on your computer, How can you create a link between both of them? How can you join two anchor tags, two files, two web pages that you have created using anchor tags? So let's see. So for that, let's quickly make two new files, and I am gonna open a new file over here, Control S. And over here I'm going to say a.html. Let's create a new file again, and I'm going to name it, save it on desktop and name it b.html. So in the a file, I'm going to complete the syntax. HTML, a, and add a heading that is called, this is file A. Control S, it is saved over here. Do the same thing. All we have to change is the title and the heading. So over here I will give it a heading H1, and in this heading I will write, this is file B. So let's see if both of these files exist on our desktop. As you can see, this is our A file, this is our B file. Let's quickly open them in Google. As you can see, it is open. This is file A and this is file B. So this is A, this is B. So now let's see how can we add file A to file B. So for that, I will open the code of file A. I will add an anchor tag over here. In the href, I will write the name of my file, that is b.html. Over here I can say click here, Control S, refresh. As you can see, the link has been created, and when I click it, I'm in file B. I click back, I'm back. So now if in file B I say add an anchor, href is going to be a.html because we want to go back to A, and I will say go back. Control S, refresh. Now as you can see, I have a link called go back, and when I click it, I can go back to file. This is how easily you can switch between your files on your own computer. So now let's see how you can use a relative path and what happens when you have your files inside of a folder. Okay guys, so now as you can see, I have already created a folder over here that is project HTML. I will double click it to open it, and now you can see that I have my file A over here, and inside the folder file I have the file B. So in order to link file A to file B, I have to give it a path. The path is going to be exactly similar to the one we used in SRC. So I'm just going to say the folder name, that is file, and then add a slash. That means go into files that jump into this folder, and now the name of my file, that is b.html. Control S. Now let's open file A. As you can see, if I click here, I go to file B, but if I go to file B, it doesn't do anything. So now let me add a link in file B that when I click go back, I jump back to file A. So for that, I'm going to go to B, and over here in the href, I have to tell the file to jump back. I have to give it a location, I have to give it a path that jump back one folder. So in order to jump back or go back into the previous folder, we use ... and then we write the name of our file, which in our case is a.html. I'm just going to press Ctrl S. Let's open file B. As you can see, I can go back to file A, and if I click here, I can go to file B. So this is how you can link your files together even when they're in the folder. So only one thing to remember, guys, that when you have to go into the next folder, you enter slash, and when you have to go to the previous folder, you enter ... It is as simple as that. Okay guys, so this was all for today. So today we learned about anchor tags, and also we learned about descriptive lists. I hope you understood everything that we tried to learn today. Stay tuned for our next video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.